Hello, my name is Merrick Allen, and welcome to days 17, 18, 19, and 20 of the 1660 Challenge. That's right, it's another 4-part episode, 2 of 3. If we have one more of these, we should be back on track, and I'm planning it diligently so that is the case. Speaking of which, if you don't know what the 1660 Challenge is, essentially, I'm going to be writing a script every day through February, every single day, 60 of them. It's 2 months. It's a great time for me, but if you don't write scripts, or if you don't want to write scripts and start doing that, that's fine, because it's the 60 in 60 challenge. You can do whatever you want it to be, whether that be drinking 60 cans of Coke every single day. Well, I probably shouldn't advise you to do that. Or learning 60 new songs every day, buying 60 new types of razors every day, like, safety razors. The choice is yours. It's my challenge that I'm giving to you. I'm not going to restrict you on it. That's why it's the 60 and 60 challenge, because I think that short films are going to benefit me the most. So, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. As you heard before, today's another 4-part episode. I have new glasses. It's great, but let's not dwell on the glasses, even though they're really cool. Let's talk a little bit more about the fact that it's a 4-part episode. That means that I've got lots of stuff to talk about. It's a good time. We're not using the prompter again yet because, with a 4-part episode, it's kind of hard to do that. It would take, forever. So this video might be a little bit long, just like the other one was. It was 16 minutes, and believe it or not, I cut out a lot of stuff. I cut out so much stuff. I cut out so much stuff from that video, but that's okay. So, day 17. What was our prompt? Because if you don't know, I use a calendar every day to see which scripts I should be writing so that I'm on track, and also it keeps things fresh for not only you guys, but for me. I don't want to write the same thing every day. Like, it's boring, and I want to have stuff to switch up. I want to have surprises. It's great. So, what was day 17? Well, it was a genre bender, which is great. It was a genre bender for comedy, which means I have to write comedy, which I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really good at that. And by that I mean I just do it a lot because it comes easier to me than drama. But, it's okay. I'm not particularly necessarily exponentially, chronologically, or alphabetically that great at comedy. I just like to do it a lot, and so it's fine. But for that day 17, I had to do comedy, so I did. And also, here's another switch up. We've got another stacked prompt, which is a good thing, and I'm hoping, we can have a ton of these strewn throughout the whole thing, and that someday I stop messing with my hair on camera. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The second thing. The first thing is going to happen because I've already pre-planned all of those. So, what was the second facet of day 17, you may be asking yourself? Well, I have an answer for you. It was Ideas from a Hat 3. That's right. Drum roll, please. What was our word for Ideas from a Hat 3? If you don't know, Ideas from a Hat means that I pick out a word from this big old straw hat that I have, and then I select it, and that's something that I go off of. But for this one, I actually picked 2 words. What were those 2 words? Let's find out. That's right, our 2 words for prompts from a Hat 3 were bamboo and personality, I believe, was the second one, but I think I may have lost the slip of paper to that or already eaten it. Oh man, this is gonna be fun, eating paper for a 4-part video. It's fine. So what did I choose to write about? Well, I had to write about bamboo shoots and personality, so I kind of decided to do a take on, like, a social media type thing, not just, painting it as a villain for like 5 hours or whatever, because that doesn't solve anything. It's not productive for me. I like Black Mirror, okay? That's not a slam against Black Mirror. I don't want to sound like one, but I think a lot of times people just they demonize technology for no reason, even though it's a good time. But it's a comedy about trends more so than necessarily social media, but just those can be spread through it, and how sometimes trends are just sort of dumb. So I said it in the near-ish future. This one I don't believe had to be something within my means, so I wrote a bit outside of my means for this. It would be a bit of a scale. Like, I would need a billboard, and I would need a lot of actors, and I would need a lot of money for props and things of that nature. So it's not really feasible for me to be filming this right now, which is kind of where I want these things to land for being outside of my means. Whereas if it was inside of my means, I should theoretically be able to film it tomorrow, which I'll touch on that more later. If you don't know what that is, in one of the other ones, because every other day I switch off. So today there would be lots of props. It's about how trends shift through time, as I mentioned before, and how they can kind of wildly spiral out of control. It's about a bamboo shoot based face cream or face scrub, depending on how you want to phrase it. As one character, Sarah Lynn says, there's a new face wash, or actually, wash probably isn't the right, and then she's talking about how it's a scrub. But essentially, people keep misidentifying the main character of this with a different name that isn't her name, but is actually the name of the person who created this product. And over time, she's like, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna embrace it. So it's kind of her journey to get to that point, and then also the aftermath of what happens once she embraces that. And there's lots of crazy stuff that happens. It's crazy stuff. Like eventually, she leans into it and she tries to get in on this face mask craze, but she can't find any of it anywhere, so she decides to use glue instead. And that has fun results too. So this would be a really fun one to film in the future if I had a nice budget to do it on. That would be great, especially because it's set in like a near future. It's kind of like a fun episode of Black Mirror, White Mirror, like that one thread where they just do a bunch of positive stuff. Well, it's not necessarily positive, but it's funny. Depending on if you think I'm funny or not, I guess. But I hope you do. So that was it for day 17. By the way, oh god, Un Papel is bad. That short was called Bamboo Chutes and Ladders because I thought that it was clever, I guess. I don't know. I'm garbage. But day 18's piece is called Relative Obscurity, and if you couldn't guess, it's about the music industry a little bit, or just artism in general, where people will, they'll make one or two famous things and then kind of languish in obscurity, or maybe not even a famous thing, just kind of a C-list thing, where or maybe a B-list, where it'll get some recognition, but it's just not quite there and into breaking into that social zeitgeist. You know what I mean? It's Frank Turner touches on this a lot in some of his songs, especially. He had a very specific album where he just dived into all of those themes of like almost being famous or being friends with those people that are famous, but just out of that reach. It's kind of based on those type of things, and it's also about I am obviously out of high school now. I mean, look at my hairline. Oh, it's perfect. I'm out of high school now, but I think I tend to view it in a light that is sort of like, well, that was stupid, but I don't want to ever think about that again. Not that I necessarily had a negative time, I just don't understand why people tend to sort of like fetishize high school for some reason. When everything else just is much better. Life gets so much better after high school. If you're in high school and you're watching this video, life gets a lot better after high school. And if you're having a good time in high school, well, it probably will also get better for you, maybe, probably. Unless you're a bad person, then maybe it won't. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just think that sometimes, I am a little bit jaded when it comes to that type of thing. So it is important to do reflections on those points in your life, if you haven't already. So I decided to make this about a person who is in high school still, and they're trying to release music, and they release some stuff based off of the fact that they went to see a concert, and they're in a local venue, and they were very disappointed by the quality of music there. So, it's a person who has been practicing guitar for years and just making songs in their bedroom, and they have like 9,000 recordings of songs that they never released. But this is essentially about them deciding to, okay, they sit down and they finally release some stuff, and it actually becomes pretty popular, but he makes nothing else after that, and kind of fades out, and it's sort of the story of what happens after you do that, and how with the internet, maybe specifically because he releases it on things like Spotify and Bandcamp, how with those platforms you kind of have to continue making stuff to stay afloat. Much like with YouTube, that's pretty similar. I mean, not me personally, because I don't make a living off of this. I just do it because. But you know, you know, the what I'm trying to say is that's the reason there's videos on YouTube that are 10 minutes long and that you have to upload like once a week. You know, you pick what the algorithm favors, not necessarily what you want to make, you know, that type of thing. People like to make a living off of that, and if they don't do it, if they don't conform to that, a lot of times you can fail. And so you have to do more content than you maybe would like. Not me personally. I do the perfect amount of content, which is every day, and it's not stressful at all. So Day 19 is a story that is, again, out of our means. Sorry, I'm still chewing on bamboo. I'm still chewing on bamboo from day 17. It's fine. It does not taste as good as you would think. But it tastes like paper, so it's not that bad. Anyway, day 19 is called Hypnic Jerk. Or, I'm sorry, Hypnic Jerk. I can't pronounce my own titles because I'm an incompetent hack, but I can write things, and I do have cool glasses, which, I don't know, did I mention that I have cool glasses earlier? But don't worry about it. So, Hypnic Jerk is a term about sleep psychology, and I wanted to apply that to a theme. I decided to either do that or like sleep spindles would be the name of it, but I like Hypnic Jerk better because it kind of is more thematically appropriate, because the main character is having a lot of trouble with his dreams, and I thought, hey, well, if it's about a person's dreams and negatively impacting them, you know, like them having nightmares a lot, which is what's happening in this case, you know, it's a Hypnic Jerk. It's their dreams are being a jerk to them, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, you feel me. So this whole piece is essentially just an exodus into this person's psyche of what can happen, you know, when you get a little too sleep deprived or get a little obsessed with figuring out the meaning behind your dreams. That can not necessarily be a good thing, you know. Some people, dream interpretation can be very helpful for them, but if you get too in depth on that, you're reading into every single thing that is happening in your life. That can be negatively impacting you and cause you to you know, not have not all your mental facilities might get a little wonk in the tonk. So day 20, and also, oh no, why did my hair part switch sides? So day 20, and also our last one for this video, because we're only doing 17 through 20. Tomorrow we'll do 21 through 24 or whatever. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll get back on track. But for today, our last one is called Fixer, and it is about a person, a photography student, who's really trying very hard, but things just aren't going right for them. It opens with them just trying to open a canister of film in the dark, and if you've ever tried to do that, it can be very difficult, especially when you're first starting out, but for some reason now I can just do it consistently. I don't know what I fixed, but you know. Anyway, it can be very difficult when you're first starting out in that type of field, and things just aren't going well for them, but they go to develop their film, and the images turn out really weird and screwy, and they take a look and something is wrong with their film. But for some reason, the next day when they bring it in for a little critique session with the rest of their class, everyone seems to really, really, really like this piece. They really enjoy it, and it's basically about this person who they're told, you know, they submit it to a local festival, they submit it to a local contest, and they win, and then they're kind of thrust into the spotlight, and this is how you respond to those types of things and how you can handle that, and whether you would crumble under that weight of maybe, you know, is there some imposter syndrome going on here? Do they have a reflection on that? Is it they commit to it fully and they commit to this really what is a lie? But it's essentially about those questions of you know, do you take how people interpret your art if it's not what you meant, but is something that will make you famous? You know, like modern art, you know? If you just have literally just a toilet, you know, is that really saying something? And should you be paid millions of dollars for it? I don't know. That's not for me to say. But people do, and maybe they have some moral quandaries about that. I don't know, maybe not. And they just go, I have clear glasses. I'm sorry. Can you? I really like these glasses. Can you tell? I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder with them because I think they're so slick. They're so slick. Because they're my other glasses, but they're clear. Anyway, that is all for today in the way of new prompts. Hopefully tomorrow I can get an even better handle on my hair, even better lighting. We just got this new lighting-y strip thing up there, right up there. It's a great time. But hopefully, it will be even better tomorrow. I'll have a lot more prompts for you. I've written some more stuff in advance. We're stockpiling a little bit so we can get ahead of the curve and be on time with things. But until then, if you're doing the 16-6 challenge, that is fantastic. And if you're doing the short film thing with it, that's personally I think it's even better because you can follow along with me and we can just motivate each other and just ascend to new heights. But if not, that's great too. So just if you are doing it though, stick with it. And if you're not doing it, feel free to jump in now. These videos are videos on the internet for a reason. They're archived for a reason. I'm not doing these live for a reason. It's so that if you haven't started, you can go back and you can watch them and you can start, and it'll be a great time, and these will be a resource a million years down the road for people in the future to look back at, like the great Renaissance. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm sorry, I'm in a Renaissance history class right now. Anyway, if you're doing it, keep up. I'm proud of you. It's great. Keep up the great moves. Proud of you. 1660 forever. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it?